All right. So let's go back to the document, whatever we were seeing on data types. And we just discussed about list data type, right? And these are the different examples they provided. They just provided some basic information, that's it. But we have seen so much of information about this list data type. Now, let's come to another data type called tuple. This is just another one which we have in Python, but list and tuple does the same thing. But the only difference is that tuple data type is immutable where list data type is not immutable. That means when you declare the tuple, you cannot update it again. It is protected. So when we say immutable, that you cannot change the existing behavior. But in list, we have seen how to change existing behavior, right? We have updated the value with a new capital letter for this Rahul word. So this is mutable, that's why you are able to update. But when you say immutable, it's locked for the first time when you create it and you cannot modify it. So that's the only difference between list and tuple. Rest everything is same. And syntax wise also there is one slight difference because you explicitly don't write any data type as written here, right? Like list or tuple. So for Python to understand, if it is list, it should be square bracket, but if it is a tuple, it's what do we call this? This should be the square bracket, right? This is, I don't know, but I don't know what exactly are this, but this is how you define. That's the difference between these two. I think this is a round bracket. Okay, so let me go back to the editor and I will show one simple example of declaring tuple. As I said, everything is same. Okay, what all operations we have. So this is how you declare list with square bracket. Now let's come to tuple. Let me create another variable called val, and this time I would give you the round bracket 1 2 Rahul 4.5, something like that. Okay, so give spaces so that it removes that ugly lines, whatever it is complaining for us. Right, now it is not list. By looking at this syntax, you should immediately tell that it's a tuple. Everything looks fine here. If you want to print any indexes, you can use val of 1, that will print 2 in your output. But now when I try to update this to capital letters, val 0 1 2, so 2, I basically want to write Rahul, and then I have to print this complete tuple by passing that variable name, and let's see what happens. Tuple, sorry, in Python comment should start like this. Tuple, same as list data type but immutable, where updation is not possible. So let's run this. Okay, it ran and you see that there is an error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. So you cannot assign anything again. It's locked at the step number 22 when it created for first time. So if you want to make this work, then change into list with square bracket, and now it will not complain anything and it will successfully update it. Let's see. Perfect. You see that it has successfully transformed to capital letter. So that's the difference between tuple and the list in Python. So it's up to you to what data type to use. It's based upon your scenario, that if you don't want that to be updated by any test case, then you can make it tuple, or if not, you can make it list. Alright, so there is one more final data type, which is a dictionary. It's a key value pair. In Java we call it as an hash map. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. um, you will again declare this dictionary in terms of list and tuple, but this time it's in flower brackets, and it will have key value pair. So one is the key, first name is value of that key, two is the key, and the value is last name. Now when you try to print with a of 1, which is nothing but a of key, and the value of that key will be printed. So in this case, first name will be printed and the second name will be printed and age will be printed. That's it. It's pretty straightforward, having key value pair. So let's do one simple exercise and we can wrap this data type concept here. Dictionary. We can have something called variable called dic. Make sure you have that in flower brackets, and the key should not be in quotes. You can have, but make sure that's not an integer. So here they have confused with different quotes, right? But let me explain. um, so this is key and this is value, but when you know key value is string, then it should be in double quotes. Okay, now next time, this time I would put key value as integer, and value of that key is some bcd string. Again, this time value is string, right? So put double quotes. So there is no specific rule that double quote should be for key or value, based upon what kind of data type you have. If you have a string, then you have to put it double quote. If it's an integer, you need not put it, no matter if it is key or value. The only syntax you have to remember here is that east, key east value, and they should be in flower brackets. That's it. And you can have something like C, and this time value also is in string, and you have an error here because you have to start from the beginning, not from the another line. Move your cursor and it says unexpected indent, backspace, and the error will go away. And also I think you can, yeah, it's not suggesting us to move it, so let's move it in manually. So if you randomly enter somewhere here, Python will not accept. I'll talk more about these in my next lecture when I am talking about for loops and if blocks. But you have to follow strict coding indentations, that it should start from the beginning only. So for now, just think like that. In very next lecture, I will tell why all these code indentations are mandatory in Python. So space, this will not harm you, your execution, but this will harm your execution. It will throw an error. When you see red underline, then that's complete error which Python will not allow you to run. So the spaces are fine. These are like just standards of your coding. Alright, so we are good. And now if you want to actually print them, we just know how we did. Print dictionary of, let's say 4. 4 is the key value here, right? So when you try to print it, BCD should present in your output. Okay, it's not based upon indexes, it's based upon key. Do not read that as 0 and a first index. Dictionary is whole different concept and it works like key value pair. And if you want to print the another key called C, print dictionary of C, and that should print hello world in the output. So make sure you comment it, because we just saw that it will throw an error with tuple if you try to assign. Okay, so let me run this program now. Control Shift F10. You see that BCD is printed in the output. Let me go back. But there is an error here for C, unsolved reference. Oh yeah, it's a string, right? So obviously you have to pass like this. Yeah, sorry, I missed it. Good that you know if it is a string, you should put them in double quotes and then only it will work. So now try to run and it will perfectly run by giving hello world in the output for C keyword, and for 4 it's giving BCD. So one rule what you have to remember here is that whenever you use a string, make sure you put it in double quotes, either it in key or in value. Okay, and it should be in flower brackets, tuple should be in the round brackets, and list should be in square brackets. That's about data types in Python. So in the next lecture, let's see one more new topic. Thank you.